Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Kevin is still dying in Florida at the moment. So today I decided we could just play something very chill. I just got done recording Five Nights at Freddy's, some gameplay, VR footage. This will most likely be coming out maybe the same week as that's going on. Also, kind of funny how we're playing the games in the opposite order.
Crystals, of course.
Crystals, of course.
But Dr. Cortex, to reach full power, we need not only your master crystal, but also the remaining 25 slave crystals from the surface. How do you expect to retrieve them when we don't have any Earthbound operatives left?
You fool! Do you think I'm unaware of the situation? If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we'll need to find an enemy.
I love his hair.
Crash!
Oh, what?
My battery is fried. Make yourself useful, big brother, and bring an extra battery for me.
Okay. Let's get into this. So yeah, well, Kevin is out in Florida. I am left to do some recording. You know, no problem though, no biggie. While I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's, I found that it was very hard for my brain to concentrate while I have to use my ears for sound, and I have to use, like, my eyes and my hands and everything. Now this, I don't really gotta listen. Mostly just gotta use my eyes, and, you know, this game comes naturally to me, so not too much of a problem. But we can actually talk about some cool stuff that's happening. Which I talked about it briefly in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot, welcome. I apologize for the crude means used to bring you here, but I'd rather expect a written invitation would have been turned down. I need your help. Surrounding you are a series of 5 doors. Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal. The crystals look like this. Bring me the crystals, Crash. That is all I will say for now. We will speak again.
Alright. I'm surprised Aku doesn't say anything, because he's obviously like a guidance figure. I don't think he actually talked until like the 3rd game, actually. I don't think they even like decided that, hey, he should talk, you know, until that game came along. Which is, you know, doesn't bother me or anything. Just interesting to see that at first he was just like this tiki that, you know, protects you, but they were like, what if he talks now? He's like an actual guided figure. And I think they had to do that because they made him like a little bit more important in the 3rd game. Because then you saw like Gauka, you know, and how he was a bad guy and he can talk. So yeah, so that's interesting. So now we're also going to talk about oh my god, we're going to talk about Pokemon Snap and the whole Pokemon thing that happened, which was quite an interesting series of events for sure. Some people were not happy about it. I was not happy about it. So let's talk about the first presentation. One of those weeks, they were like, okay, we're having a presentation for like Pokemon or whatever. and people are like, yeah, that's cool. You know, like, yeah, we're down for this. Like, hopefully, it's probably not going to be anything big. Maybe it'll be some spin-off. Maybe it'll be more information on the second DLC. Since, I feel like we know less about that than than the first DLC, which was coming out like that same week. It was actually coming out, I think, the day after. Yeah, so everything was fine. The presentation came out and everybody's like, yeah, this is okay. We're not gonna be mad that nothing major was announced. You announced a bunch of games, and that is fine. Pokemon Snap 2 was a part of it, so that really, pushed people to be like, oh my god, yes, this is it, and yeah, so pretty cool. Some mobile games, they're okay, I guess. They also released an app where like catch Pokemon by brushing your teeth, which that's cool, I guess. I mean, I can see, the fact that like they are funding this, right? Means that they like actually care, instead of just being like, oh, we need to get the kids in this. They could just appeal to kids. They could just make something that's so like annoyingly appealing to kids. But instead they were like, let's make an app where you brush your teeth and you catch Pokemon. And I mean, that's an interesting way to get your kids to brush teeth, but it's also an interesting way to have your kids be involved with Pokemon. Does that make sense? Because maybe I think Game Freak is also worried about not grabbing like a new audience, the same kid audience. They just need to get out there. What the hell did I miss? Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're not trying to 100%. Which, I mean, I don't know if they're actually struggling with that because, I mean, I'm an adult. I don't hang out with kids all the time, so I don't know what kids are into. But from what I can see, it's definitely Undertale, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Fortnite.
Well done, Crash. I knew I could rely on you. Now listen carefully. These holograms are hard to maintain. During the course of my intellectual pursuits, I have stumbled across a force that threatens to destroy the world. The crystals are the only means of containing it. The fate of the world is at stake. It is imperative, therefore, that you bring them to me.
Are you there, Crash? Crash! Crash! Are you there, Crash? There, Crash?
She died. So, like, I can't tell if they're actually having a hard time trying to appeal to kids or not. And maybe it's just the entire fan base. And obviously there are some kids, because like imagine people who are parents, right? Who have kids. They were with Pokemon when they were like a teen. It's not like like me when I was a kid was when I was into Pokemon. So there's some people that were already a teenager when Pokemon came out. Oh wow, look, somebody else is also playing Crash Bandicoot trilogy. Well, so like, obviously there's gonna be like parents that get their kid into Pokemon, but what about parents that aren't into Pokemon, right? Like, are the kids finding out naturally through the internet or just owning a Switch, right? Because like the Switch is so big, right? Because one, it's advertised as like a kid console, you know. Well, not just a kid console, but it's like a family console, you know. So that means that, you know, your kids can play that, you know, and the fact that it's on the go, it keeps your kid busy while you're trying to do something, you know. Oh, that was stupid. But no, like, I mean, yeah, there's definitely like people that like, you know, maybe they just get their kid a Switch and then they find out about Pokemon through that, and that's definitely like a possibility for sure. Because I mean, I don't know how I found out about Pokemon. I know, like, my mom wasn't into it for sure, like. But I was, and I wonder if the cause was maybe my mom buying me the games for it, or maybe it was maybe the TV show had an influence, because I definitely was a fan of the TV show, like the original Pokemon anime. So I don't know, all this stuff so interesting to think about, whether or not they are continuously growing a fan base or not, like at a big enough rate, like they did back then, you know, because back then they blew up. Everybody was playing Pokemon. Pokemon was the crap, and I think they've maintained that. You know, obviously it grew with like the next few games and generations, you know, but you know, like what about now when, you know, most games that kids are playing are, you know, freaking epic shoot-a-man video games, and you know, stuff like this, like platformer games aren't thriving that much anymore, and it's mostly the people keeping it alive, like fucking, you know, people who have already played it, you know, and you know, I think you get the point. What I'm trying to say here is, how is a climate of old games surviving in this climate? So it's quite interesting to think about, you know. There we go, nice.
So, you are helping Cortex gather crystals.
Yes.
You have acquired a gem. Interesting. Well, Crash, know this. As long as you are allied with Cortex, you are my sworn enemy, and I will do anything in my power to stop you. If the fate of the world is truly your concern, you must gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. Yes, a laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he has created. Until then, I must use my forces to stop you from gathering crystals.
So his forces, are they the ones that created, like, or is it the ones like Ripperoo and all the bosses in this game? Because that's kind of interesting. It's interesting because some of them were in the first game, some of them are not. But anyways, let's continue talking about the matter at hand, which was so anyways, that Pokemon presentation was pretty alright. It was pretty alright received. With Pokemon Snap 2, I think that really like carried the presentation, right? I think without it, I think the whole thing would have suffered. They would have been like, wow, did you really just hype this crap up and there's like nothing? Like nothing good? Like what have you guys been doing all this time? You know, pretty cool. And then they were like, at the end, they were like, okay, we got something super, super high freaking maintenance, super important next week. The same day, 1 week from now, we'll show off this amazing game that we have been working very hard on.
3 crystals. Not bad. I see you are getting the hang of it. I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
Nice. So then a week later, Pokemon decides to release a presentation where they're like, "All right, check this out. Check this out. This is the brand new game that we're working on." And I think most people were expecting maybe 2 announcements, maybe 3, like the last one. But this was gonna be, because like the first presentation was like all like they were developed by Game. They were all developed by other like gaming companies. So like Bandai Namco and like a bunch of other freaking companies. So now people wanted to know what was Game Freak. And then finally they showed off this really cool, I would say it was really, really awesome. Like the fact that like a Pokemon like Dota is in existence, like that's like the coolest idea. Like to be able to play as Pokemon and then play this like team-based like you know, game. You know, I think a lot of people were down for that. But the problem was that was the only thing they had to announce. So people were really upset at the fact that they had to wait a week, and they really hyped this thing up to be a massive game. But it turned out to just be a Dota that wasn't even developed by them. It's developed by somebody else. And I think that's where the miscommunication came from. And I'll check right now. I think the dislike is right about like, if I had to take a guess, maybe around 150. I don't know, like 150,000 dislikes. Is that was pretty bad. It immediately people were like tanking on it, and I don't blame them. They hyped that up really weird, and they could have just put it in the same presentation. They could have just added that together, because the original presentation is only like 10 minutes long. So the fact that it's only 10 minutes long, like they could have just easily made it a 20-minute presentation. It's not like they have an issue with keeping people interested, right? They're not, the viewers aren't gonna fall off once people are watching. Like that is not the issue. Like everybody watches the Nintendo Directs and they stay all the way through, or Pokemon Directs and they'll stay watching all the way through. I realized I didn't get the crystal for that one. You know, and I don't think that that's the problem. So I don't know why they would have made it a separate, like, presentation. You know, it wasn't like a 30-minute presentation all by itself. You know, it was also 10 minutes. They could have easily made it a 20-minute presentation. People have stuck around watching, the, like, I'm pretty sure people have watched like 30-minute Pokemon presentations before. And for them to, for some reason, think that people aren't gonna watch, is super weird. And that kind of circles back to the, I mean, do they have the right audience to be watching this? And I know they have a lot of audience because that video was trending that day. You know, like that video was like #4 trending. I think the same day something else happened. I think like Fortnite dropped something that day. And there was like a bunch of other stuff happening, but it was up there, like in terms of like views. So I don't understand why they would have made a separate presentation, and instead, now people hate this game when it's actually a really cool game, and I think most people like it. I think most people generally like this thing, and I like it too, but it was just an issue with them presenting it. It was how they presented it to the people. And I think presentation is key, right? You know, I think it's... Oh, I think it's all about the presentation, though. Because if you show it to people the wrong way, then they're going to forever remember the wrong way that you just presented that. But, you know... Like, what can you do? What can you do? I'm sure when it comes out, it'll be fun. It'll be great. I think it'll be well received. People will love it, and it'll probably, you know, be updated for a very long time. It is going to be cross-platform, but not like that. It'll be like mobile. It'll be on your phone and on the Switch. So that's interesting. I'll probably play it on my phone, if anything. Like, I don't think I downloaded like on my Switch. But yeah. So we got the crystal of that one. This has been a very good episode. Talking about Pokemon and all that. We do still got some things to talk about in the next episode. So I will see you next time.